Hi there folks, my name is Ryan Drake. I am the Ecological Horticulturist here at the Greater Des Moines Botanical Garden. It's something I'm really passionate about, is bridging ecology and horticulture together and bringing that into our garden practices. So right now we are standing in the entrance to the Lauridsen Savanna. So this is a space here at the garden that is designed in a naturalistic designed plant community. So it brings ecologies of Iowa here to the garden and how we can garden at home and in our urban environments. So we see the skyline behind me. We're amidst the hustle and bustle of downtown Des Moines, and we come to the garden and have a reprieve, and it's time to walk around and take a step back and enjoy the ecologies of Iowa. So here we are in the Alnus Grove of the Lauridsen Savanna, as a space that is both inviting, and as we meander our way through the savanna, we use our ecological minds as we observe and reflect on the garden. So in that garden space, we can stitch together ecologies of Iowa, and it's so broad and such a diversity of ecologies in Iowa. We often don't think about that, right? But we've got some of the driftless region to the east of us, the beginnings of the steppe climate to the west, and the Ozarks to the south. So there's so much to explore in Iowa's ecology and plants that we want to bring here and share with you guys. So as we stitch together some of those ecologies and reflect on that, we start to really be immersed in those landscapes and in Iowa. So as we weave our way throughout the twists and turns of the savanna, we're coming across something new and exciting along the way. Here we've got our cup plant, and I'm 6 feet tall, so it's one that has a huge amount of height and great addition to our gardens. These beautiful yellow blooms in the late summer and these warmer months, as we find July kind of being a little bit of a drought. The cup plant is going to be a great addition. Our Assistant Director of Education actually did a blog post on Silphiums. Here we've got our Filipendula rubra. So this is the queen of the prairie. Gorgeous pink puff clouds of blooms that are super active with our pollinators again. I adore our pollinators and our native bees. But we leave this up, and we leave the queen of the prairie up throughout the season, throughout the winter, both for as it goes into its later season colors and colorations, and we've still got these gorgeous seed heads that give us beauty throughout the season, long after it's bloomed. And I even found some evidence of some stem nesting bees from last season. Just by leaving these guys up throughout the winter even, will help those native bees in the coming seasons and the next generations. Here we've got our Sporobolus, or the prairie drop seed, and it's such a powerhouse in our garden space. As it's coming into bloom this time of year, it's so aromatic. As we walk through the space, you just get this almost buttery popcorn sort of smell and to the air. In lieu of mulching or anything like that, we're actually using our sedge layer and our grass layer to do a lot of work for us. So it's actually suppressing the weeds and keeping erosion from happening. So it might be perhaps an overlooked addition to a garden, but it's so important for our horticology stance and an approach to gardening, so that we can use plants to perform a lot of different functions. So here I am standing against our prairie flame shining sumac, and this time of year it's coming into bloom, these gorgeous yellow flowers that we see, and it's just buzzing with activity, which is so exciting to see. It's such a statement piece. I think sumacs give such a tropical feeling to our gardens here, but they're actually native, and we can use those different textures and colors to play with those design concepts and explore those boundaries of gardening. And there's such a diversity of bees that visit this bloom here in the late summer. We've got of course, our honeybee, which is our state insect of Iowa. And we've also got just anything from really, really small to millimeters to our gorgeous bumblebees here in Iowa. Behind me, we've got our Vernonia baldwinii, or border crossing. So this is a selection that our Director of Education and Horticulture has made. It's one of the earliest blooming Vernonias, and I've just observed such an activity of bees diversity on this Vernonia selection. What's interesting about Vernonia is we have a specialist bee, so the Melissoides denticulata, or the Eastern ironweed longhorn bee. So we see that little guy here on our Vernonias, and they are specialists, which means that they're going to go for Vernonias over anything else. So I do hope that you guys come visit us soon and take a reprieve as you stroll through the gardens. I think this year especially is so important to take a moment and step back and be observational, both for yourself and going forward into the year. It's also the most important thing we can do ecologically speaking, right, is be observational. What is happening in our gardens? What are the plants telling us? Who's visiting our gardens? It's just the most important thing we can do, and I hope that you get a chance to get out into your own gardens and come here to visit and be observational and meditative in those spaces.